going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Monster Legends. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button to show your support. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, peeps. Today, we're going to talk about the two new monsters in the scrolly, the Keeper's Fables Island. Alright, I debated throwing Frostwrath in there for the analysis, but he's an old monster. He's still a really good monster, don't get me wrong, an amazing denial, but he's an old monster, so people probably know a little bit about him. So I'm just going to cover the two new ones, the Burning Rogue, and, is that how you spell it? Burning Rogue, and the Dungeon Master, who in my opinion looks like a dude, but apparently it is indeed a she. Whatevs. So we're going to jump in, talk about those dudes, kind of where they fit, stat skills, all the good jazz, and then we're going to come back and finish things up. Alright, so let's jump in. Alright guys, so first up here is going to be the Burning Rogue. This is the new epic. Now he's obviously not going to be nearly as powerful as a legendary, and there's only two new monsters in this event, but it's only a week-long event, so it's understandable. Alright, so we're going to jump through like normal, go to the stats, the skills, the traits, all the good stuff about him, talk a little bit about him, and move on. Now, before we start here, all this comes from the wiki, so if it is changed, it's their fault, not mine, don't blame me. And I'm not super duper up to date on like the epic sitch, because I don't really deal in epics very much. I'm mainly a legendary kind of guy, but I try to do my best on these guys. Okay, so first up, let's jump into his stats. He's got 2,900 power, which I know isn't bad for an epic at all, because it's level 90. You bump that to level 100, it's going to be pretty close to a decent power stat for a level 100 monster, right? His HP Zors, 20,301. So he's not super tanky or anything, but he's an epic, so it's to be understood that he's a little bit weaker in the HP department. Okay, right? His speed, 2,870, makes him a decently fast epic as well. I believe there are other ones that are much faster than him, but this guy is not a denial monster anyway, so it's not super important how fast his base speed is. His max gold per minute's only 142, not a huge deal. Trait, immune to possession, which is never a bad thing. Being immune to any form of crowd control is always nice in a trait. Maybe even a little better would be hardened here because it's, you know, a little bit of a resistance to everything. But having one like this is not bad. All right, pretty solid trait for him. He is in two books, the Underworld and the Evil Legions. Obviously, not to mention the Epic as well, because he's an epic monster. So it's 3 different spots for war, which isn't bad. Also, I guess he can be put in the Fire or the Dark slot. So that's, what, 5 slots for war? So pretty versatile epic. I guess you can put him in a lot of spots, but whatevs. He does have a Sword and Trap relic slot. I haven't done a whole lot of digging in the relics. I've looked a little bit more into them, and there are a couple relics that really stand out above the other ones. We'll talk about those in a different video, but for nowsies, those are 2 relics he has. That's what's important, right? Right. His special skill down here, I swear it was 100. That's what it's called. It's an AoE, 55 power fire damage that applies Ignite to all enemies. That's really powerful. Ignite is a very powerful status effect. It burns really heavily. This guy, in my opinion, doesn't quite rise to the level of Salamander in terms of a great epic, but he's not bad at all. The AoE Ignite and the special, even if it's just with his special, is still solid. Okay, moving over to his skills, we have Burning Arrows Rain. Now, it's a 40 power AoE, which isn't the most powerful AoE in the world, but he is an epic, so it's to be understood. Alright? But the wiki does say that this guy's burning status effect doesn't last 3 rounds, it actually lasts 4 rounds, which is a pretty long time to last for a status effect, but usually when you get somebody burned, 4 turns doesn't usually elapse before they're dead anyways. So, kind of interesting, but whatevs. It's a 40 power AoE, 2-turn cooldown, not bad. Now, the next skill over here is going to be also an AoE, but it's a little bit weaker. It's a 35 power AoE, and it is dark damage. This is going to be an AoE poison. Now, poison is nice for a couple of reasons. Not only does it drain health, but it also limits their power, too. So they hit you less hard, and they're kind of dying at the same time. So that's really solid. The third skill here, Quick Potion, I would recommend you definitely take it if you get him, because it's not only pretty solid damage, 50 power attack, it also has a 30% throat clearing, a 30% heal to himself. So a little bit of damage and self-sustain is never a bad thing. I would say you'd probably want to take that for absolutely sure. Alright, so moving down, we've got the Burning Bolt. This is going to do some pretty solid damage. It's a 65 power single target attack, which means it does have some really good damage potential in a damage dealing role with a 1-turn cooldown, and it also burns the enemy. So it's not only going to be a 65 base power, it's also going to deal another 15% of that target's life as burn damage. So a really solid skill there, not bad. Moving over, we've got the dark version of the same thing, pretty much. It's going to be a 60 power attack with 0 cooldown, which means it is spammable damage, which is always nice, and that's going to drop a poison on the target. Like I said before, poison's a really solid status effect. Not bad at all. Not bad. All right, and the last one I put on here, I just kind of put it there as a formality. It is the Angry Stab. It's a 55 power dark base damage with 1 cooldown that applies damage reduction to the target. Kind of up to you if you want to stack like poison and damage reduction, because they do stack together. 1 lowers power, 1 lowers the skill damage, so they would be much, much weaker, hitting you less hard. So in a supporting base role, not a terrible thing to run. But he has the AoE poison already. I don't know. I don't think you'll take it. You might. I'll put it in there just for that reason. Now, how do you run this guy? Stuff like that. If you are a new player and you're still dealing in epics as your damage dealers and denials and all that stuff, you're still in the epic area, this guy is probably going to be best run as a damage dealer with 2 strength and a speed, or 2 strength and a team speed runes. If you're a little further on in the game and you're using epics more of his backup kind of guys, and stuff like that, there, you know, if you have to put him in war, you do. Obviously, 3 team speed on this guy is going to work just fine. An AoE burn and AoE poison are great little backup moves to help lower the enemy's power and stuff like that. Plus, the AoE ignite on his special is great for dealing damage. Okay, so 3 team speed if you're late in the game. If you're still using epics primarily, run this guy as a damage dealer with 2 strength and a speed, or 2 strength and a team speed. And that's going to take us over to the Dungeon Master. Alright, peeps, so here we are at the Dungeon Master. I'm not going to lie, at first glance I thought this was a dude, but apparently it is a lady. That is not important. Alright, so first up we're going to jump into the stats and stuff like that. The power, 3,201. That right there should give you a tip-off that this is not a damage-dealing monster. It is definitely built more towards denial. Low base power generally means denial, or support sometimes too. Alright, life, 29,255, so not a bad life stat. There are higher life denials out there, but that's not a big deal. The speed here, 3,476, very important number because it's a denial monster. The higher your base speed, the better off you're going to be. This puts her faster than monsters like Demise, General Thades, Timerian, all these really common monsters you see. She is faster than them, okay? She ties speeds of monsters like Kihaku and Hackster to very, very prominent, very solid denials. So that's kind of nice. Be up there with those in that little bracket. Really good. All right, her max gold per minute's only 155. Not a huge deal. It's just max gold per minute. Her trait is Hardened, which is a fantastic trait for denial. It's pretty much as good as you can get without being a general or a VIP/nemesis. All right, Hardened is a very good trait. It blocks everything 20% of the time, so that's great. Always good. Always, always good. She is in 2 books, just like the Burning Rogue. She is Evil Legion and Underworld. Not bad. Not bad at all. Relic slot, she has an amulet and a staff. There are some really, really powerful staff amulets out there. Or staff amulets, staff relics, but we'll talk about that some other day. Anyways, special skill down here, critical. This is 65 power AoE damage. Not really important, it's magic damage. But what it does is it activates. It activates all the cooldowns on the enemy's skills, which is fantastic. It's pretty much denial right there. Not 100% because obviously special skills can still be cast and stuff like that. Any 0 cooldown skills can still be used, but it's not bad at all, and it works in a lot of situations. All right, moving over to the skills, we have a bit late. This is going to be, in my opinion, the best skill she has. It's a 0 damage skill, but it is AoE cooldowns activated. Now, the problem with this skill, in my opinion, the only downside to it is the 90% accuracy. If it is a 0 power skill, in my opinion, it should be 100% accurate all the time. It should never miss even once. But in this case, it looks like 90%. Like I said, this is from the wiki, so it could be wrong. It might be 100%. I don't know. But anyway, AoE cooldowns activated. This right here shuts down every denial monster in the game, pretty much. Other than I do believe Kihaku has a 0 cooldown, 50% chance to freeze and possess, which can go through this, which would be a little annoying. Cavenfish has a 0 cooldown, 50% stun, AoE. But like I said, this is going to stop, like General Thades, ruined by this skill. Because Stamina Devours is ruined, Abyss Attack, ruined. Timerian gets destroyed by this skill because none of his skills can be cast when he's on cooldowns activated, and his special is Nothing to Fear. Same with General Thades. So right there, that skill alone makes this an amazing denial for countering the meta in the game. Really, really solid. Okay, Moving over, we have Roll the Effect. This is going to be a 35 power AoE, magic damage with 1 cooldown, and this says it's going to apply a random torture effect, so like burning, quicksand, stuff like that. Now, I did hear some feedback already on the wiki and stuff saying that there's conflicting information out that this might not be a torture effect. It might be like Xiron and be a random control effect. It would be much better to be a random control effect, in my opinion, in a denial sense, because she's not really a damage dealer. But even just because she has the AoE cooldowns activated already makes her a really good denial, even if this is indeed a burning quicksand slash ability. Alright, if this is a random control effect, it gets even more strong, but I don't know yet. No one knows yet till we get them. But whatever. Still solid. Moving over, we've got the Critical Failure. This is another 35 power AoE, but this one's going to be Total Blind. So it makes Scrap Warrior irrelevant, in my opinion, already. The very next monster that launches makes him look like Butthole, because she does exactly what he does, but better, okay? She shows him how to actually deny by being fast. So, really, really solid there. The AoE Total Blind and the AoE cooldowns activated. Really, really solid pairing. Moving down, we've got the Friends Gathering. This is a multiple ally skill. 100% accurate. Obviously, this is going to remove all negative side effects from your team and also deactivate all of their cooldowns. Now, that's really powerful in a lot of situations. Being able to, you know, pull back a big AoE attack and use it twice in a row and stuff like that can be really powerful. So, not bad. A good support move on your denial monster. Moving over, we've got the Really Disoriented. It's going to be a Total Blind to a single enemy. 45 power, not that it really matters. She's denial. The power isn't really a big deal. But it's a single enemy Total Blind, which is good for denials, having a backup crowd control. Then the last one over here, Magical Trap. It's another single target enemy, and it's going to give you a random torture effect. I only put that on there because it may be wrong. It may be random control effect. And if it's random control effect, it's way more powerful. If it is torture effect, you probably won't take this because Dungeon Master's not a damage dealer. She's denial. Okay, that's what she does. So there is only, in my opinion, 2 accepted runing methods for this monster. One going to be as a backup denial support monster, and the other as a straight denial. She is not a damage dealer. Do not run her that way. Life runes are useless on her. She doesn't need a life rune at all. So don't waste your life runes here. All right. If you're running denial on her, absolutely 3 speed all the time. Never anything but 3 speed if you're going denial roll. I don't even know why I have to say that, but I say it every time because I still see people doing terrible rune methods, and it drives me insane. Alright, if you're going to run this one as a support, like a backup deny or something like that, 3 team speed will work just fine, or you can run a speed and 2 team speed to make her a little bit faster, just to get her turned off maybe before the enemy does. So those are the 2 rune methods I would use. This monster here is going to be a fantastic denial for a long time to come. So definitely when this comes on offer in a couple of months, unless she gets outclassed by something else new, you're going to want to pick this chick up, and you're probably going to want to rank her as well, because she is going to be really powerful. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump back. Alright guys, so those are the 2 new monsters in the Keeper's Fables Island. Like I said, Dungeon Master is a fantastic monster as long as those stats and skills hold true through the wiki and they don't get nerfed or changed. She will absolutely be one of the best denials in the game, up there with the likes of like Kihaku and stuff like that. Amazing, amazing monster. And the fact that you can get her, even if you don't spend real money, if you've saved up a couple hundred gems or so, you can probably get her out. It'll be tough, but you can do it. She's really, really solid. You definitely want to pick her up if you can. And in a couple of months when she comes out on offers, absolutely buy one of those. She's going to be good. But anyways, peeps, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, don't forget to leave those in the down there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you liked the video, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And I will see you guys next time.